Hello guys, Mr. Fluffy Pants here, and today guys I'm going to be reviewing another movie, and today guys I'm reviewing Overlord from 2018, which was produced by J.J. Abrams. They advertise that a lot, but this is pretty much a war, sci-fi, horror / thriller action movie from World War II, World War II, which it's also, a lot of people say it's a zombie movie, which it does got that in it, but also not. It's more than just that, but it's definitely an interesting movie, and I would say, like, this movie is, like, the best, like, I know a lot of people say this, but it's honestly true, because this is honestly the best, like, B-movie, like, you can really get, because this is just fantastic, let me just say that. But if you want to watch it, it actually is on Hulu, and I highly suggest watching it if you're even, a horror fan, a war movie fan, really anything, sci-fi, anything. You will absolutely love this movie like I did. Like, I always heard it was pretty good, and, I was like, you know what? I'll go and watch this, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, this movie is fantastic, but pretty much a group of soldiers get stuck behind enemy lines during World War II. They have to their main mission is to destroy this comms tower. So on D-Day, the D-Day invasion in Normandy, they can have air support from the Allied forces and whatever. So that can be a successful mission. But they run into some hiccups and stuff. And they discover that the Nazis are doing human experiments underground in this one village, which is honestly really intriguing. Whenever Boyce, which is the main protagonist, which I absolutely love his character. Really, a lot of the soldiers are just so memorable. Like Boyce, you got Corporal Ford, Tibbet, Chase, which that is horrifying. And this has also got a bunch of body horror, which is honestly done really great. And also, I will say, this movie's got some of the best gore I've ever seen in a movie ever. Like, it is so realistic, like, especially whenever they have that one Nazi soldier with, like, the grenade in his mouth and, like, the bomb or the dynamite on the motorcycle or whatever. Whenever that blows up, like, oh my goodness, like, that is some of the most realistic, like, war I guess injuries or whatever I've ever seen, to be honest. And a lot of that is in this movie. Like, this movie is graphically gory and realistic, like, especially Waffner's face whenever he gets it, like, shot. Like, oh my god, that is horrifying. But I kind of forgot where we're. Oh yeah, and Boyce is behind enemy lines. Whenever you see he accidentally sneaks into the Germany fortress or whatever. Some of the stuff he sees in there is absolutely horrifying. And we pretty much learn, but it's also kind of left up to, mystery or whatever, but it's pretty much that the Germans somehow harvested this, not really sure if it's magical or not, but this tar from underneath this one town in Germany, and somehow they refine it via these people in these, they put, like, human beings in sacks or something like that, which is horrifying, and they somehow refine it into some kind of serum, which whenever they inject it will revive anything or any person really, and pretty much turn them into like a zombie that can't feel pain or whatever. But it corrupts them. They're not their normal selves. But while he's in that lab, that is absolutely horrifying. And what's kind of sad is that experiments like that really did happen during World War II, and that sucks. But the way this movie is able to juggle, like, the sci-fi elements along with the realistic war stuff, it's honestly amazing. And plus, that whole mystery about what's going on is also fantastic, especially whenever they pretty much keep Waffner captive, and then he pretends to be dead, and then he shoots Chase, which is just so sad. And then he's like, oh yeah, I got the serum, let me inject him. And then that like gruesome body horror, where he's like his bones are snapping out and all that, and then, like, he beats his head in with the butt of his gun. Like, oh my god, that is absolutely, like, that took it to a level I was not expecting. And Boyce, he learns, he pretty much goes throughout the movie, he learns that sometimes he's got to do what he's got to do, to be able to survive. And, there's also a whole plot, which also kind of revolves around them, but, Chloe and, her brother Paul and all that is involved, because, she lets them, the soldiers stay at her house or whatever. And, part of the, mission is, we also got to rescue Paul during all this and all that. And, Tippett at first was, not really one of my favorite characters. I thought he was kind of annoying, but by the end of this movie, you come to, really love him. And I forgot who, I think it was Dawson, I want to say. he gets blown up by a mine, and he's like, he was there and then he wasn't, which is, so sad and horrifying. But in this movie, it's able to show that, war itself is horrifying, but also what comes from the war is horrifying, like these experiments and stuff, which, is honestly, kind of a good message, I guess, or, like, to kind of bring that to light, I guess. And also, whenever Boyce has to pull the, I don't even know what it was, out of Jacob's stomach. Like, oh, you knew that hurt. And also, Corporal Ford, like, at first, oh, yeah, he's that stereotypical jerk. But, his sacrifice is, well-deserved because, he injects the serum into him so he can fight Waffner, which Waffner's a pretty good villain. I actually really like him in the movie, especially his gruesome facial after he pretty much gets half his face blown off. Him and Corporal Ford's fight or whatever, he goes down, he's like, this shouldn't be on either side, so you know what, we're gonna leave it buried here with me. And that's kind of a good message. They question Boyce, is there anything we should know, but we have to go and dig under that rubble to see. And he's like, nope. And they're like, okay. So, and they kind of leave it open to make a second one, but I don't think this movie did too good in theaters because, I didn't see it in theaters. I know a lot of other people didn't, but honestly, that's kind of a shame because this movie is fantastic. It kind of gets me, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the opening scene. The opening scene with the paratroopers, that just throws you right into chaos and stuff, but I love it so much. Like, that is just, a really great way to open up your movie. But this movie's able to juggle, the action and the horror of, like, war itself, of sci-fi horror and all that, which honestly is just really great. Like I said, this is the best B movie you can really get out there. So, like I said, I would strongly suggest this movie. Like, this movie is fantastic. Definitely one I'm going to need a rewatch, but it also kind of got me Wonder Woman vibes from, the gritty scenes in with the Germans in the first Wonder Woman. So, and I guess it's kind of like, not really Zombieland, but, like any zombie movie, really, but not really zombies, but kind of ish, really. But a lot of body horror in this movie, and it's definitely got some really gruesome scenes. But overall, though, this movie is fantastic, especially since, I'm a horror guy, so, of course I'm going to like this kind of things. And I don't watch, like, a lot of war movies, but this one's pretty good, I will say. So, you know what, I'm going to give this movie an 8.8 out of 10 because I loved it that much. So, anyway, guys, let me know down below what you guys think about this movie. Do you guys love it as much as I do? Because I sure do. But check out my Twitter and Discord, link in the description. Like and subscribe for more. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.